Hello, we're back. I I hope you noticed, but it's fine if you don't. I'm using my phone as a camera now. I hope that's better somehow. I'm using Droid Cam, which would be OBS, pretty good. Although we have this little fella up here with us now, but it's fine. I'm not paying for that, but that is fine. Now today, more importantly, we're taking a look into the Mage. This is gonna be pretty fun. The Mage has um, is one of the classes that we've seen the most of. A fuck ton of spells. Oh, then let me. I'm doing the jig, the thing that I always do, my playlist, so I don't have to edit as much. Um, but you know, the mage, if you wanna be casting big spells, elemental combos, he's your guy. He's the guy you're looking for. Um, Especially for multiclassing. Edmund has said as much in some of his live streams. So the mage is pretty cool. The mage is very fun, and he's not really. He has more archetypes or at least play styles than I initially thought I would have. You can play an aggressive mage, you can play an utility mage, and maybe even a supporting mage. And that's I think his they really have gone above and beyond for him. So I'm excited to see their abilities. Let's start. Let's see. We start a Frost Blast. Ice element, of course. Freeze the first unit within a 5-tile straight line of you. Pretty fucking good utility ability. Freezing is pretty nice, making an important enemy lose its turn. I really like that. Turn it down just a little bit, the music. Um, 4 is pretty nice. You're the mage, so this is even better. I would give this a B plus for Frostblast. We don't know the upgraded version. Now we got Surf right after its water element, of course. Shoot a 3 magic damage, 5 tile diameter, AoE spell. Okay. 4 tile range. The range is better. It's way better than the mage auto attack, isn't it? Deal knockback 2 units from the center of the AoE. Okay. And it seems like the diagonal tiles count as 2. Okay, because it is 2 movement technically, right? Okay, makes sense, makes sense. 7 mana, AoE damage, uh, and the knockback ability. It is all around, but I really like the AoE. I like the water element. I think it's a fun one. I think it's a fun one. Are there any fights that this goes crazy on specifically? At least that I know of? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't really know right now. But Surf is pretty nice. I like Surf. I like Surf. Not the best AoE spell. We'll see that in a bit. But it's fine. I'm gonna give it a solid B. Yeah, that seems right. Shatter. Oh my god. Ooh, this is pretty cool. Make a weak melee attack. This instantly kills frozen units. If unit was a boss, it instead does 15 damage. And inflicts slow. Ooh, the slow is pretty nice. Okay. Okay. This is pretty fun. Pretty fun, pretty fun. Um, I love the ice combo, the ice payoff technically. Um, Although it is melee, that sucks a little. Because if you go to melee the boss, you're normally using your movement unless you were already adjacent to the boss, but then you're already fucked. So I'm thinking you probably want to have a kind of movement ability to get the fuck out of there, because it doesn't matter if he has low. You're next to him, you're cooked. But 15 damage and slow 2 is very relevant. That's a crazy amount of damage. I like Shatter. Um, maybe if you have some other cats applying ice, freezing, but I don't know. We haven't seen anything yet other than the freeze punch for the fighter, right? We have Cold Shoulder, but Cold Shoulder does slow. Okay, but I like really like Shatter. Of course, if you're not making frozen units, this is a F. But I'm gonna rate it as if you have some sort of ice frozen type ability or item. Who knows? Um, Shatter is nice. It's pretty nice. I like the payoff. I think it's kind of an A if you have the tools, any tool. Maybe a B plus depending on how well you can get away after using it. Switch. Speaking of getting away, switch position with any unit. Yeah, this is the good stuff, huh? Because imagine you're using Shatter, and then you just do your stuff and switch with the fighter or whoever else wants to get in there. Um, Switch is pretty good. It is situational, kinda, but I like that you normally, when switching, you go to a more defensive position and you're putting someone in a more aggressive position switching with you normally. So like you're doing a 2-for-1 um, because you're kind of using a movement on another unit. You could think about it in that way. There could be some moments where switching with any unit is S and then you're out of a movement ability. That would suck a lot. So I'm gonna rate it a little lower than that. But if you're thinking a lot about it, although sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. But I like Switch. I like Switch. I'm gonna give it a um. It's very interesting. I'm gonna give it um. Is there a B or B plus? Okay, I'll give it a B plus. Benefit of the doubt. You know, good until proven shitty. Let's go to Energy Blast. 7 mana, 10 damage. Coffee. Shit range. It's the mage's basic attack range. Hairy legs. Um, damn, I hate the range on these blasts, but it's a good ability. 10 damage is it's nothing to scoff at. Hmm. I guess bosses is okay. It's nothing crazy. Because as I said, I really hate how much the mage has to put himself in danger to do his basic attacks. Um, it's really tough. Unless you have some kind of movement, of course. I'm gonna give it a solid B. Yeah, I really want to know what the upgraded version for this is, because after some time, the damage isn't even killing some enemies. I would have to see all their HPs again, but in Chapter 3, you're not killing mostly anything. I don't know. Kinda awkward. It's an awkward ability. Forbidden Flame. Ooh, we have another Forbidden. This is pretty cool. The second Forbidden one we've seen. The, does each class have a Forbidden one? That's a crazy phrase. Okay, so Forbidden Fight for colors, Forbidden Flame for the mage. Fire element. Set fire to all tiles except ones with allies, dealing 7 magic damage and inflicting burn 4 to all enemy units. Wow. Gain a permanent disorder, of course. Wow, a lot of damage, burn 4. It is 0 mana. Although you are the mage, it, it's a little sad. Um, paying 0. Oh, we have another one. We have Forbidden Flood too. Um, because normally the good thing about these abilities is they're strong and most importantly they're 0 mana. So you could kind of go crazy. Um, but with the mage you have mana normally. But the burn combo is amazing. Um, I wonder, you probably play more defensively if you're planning on using Forbidden Flame, right? Because you don't want to go into the fire normally, unless you have kind of a wet build, maybe. So you can kind of like you can spit or wet your tank or fighter, so they could get in there while the enemies burn. Um, I think I'm getting this right. If you're wet and you go to a flaming tile, you just put it out, right? I believe I'm correct. But yeah, burn 4, 7 damage. If you have any burn combo, this gets even greater. But this is gonna get a high one, because Forbidden Fire is just as good. Not just as good, but it's good. They're good abilities, the forbidden ones. Even though you're getting Zarder. Uh, I'll give this an A B plus. I think of the forbidden abilities, this is kind of awkward. Um, but it is cool. It's not bad at all. You're happy to have this. Yeah, as I said with Forbidden Fart, you're not using this every battle. It's kind of an emergency button. It's more of like you could use this every every battle. You could, if you need to, and just having that emergency button is nice. Speaking of emergency, we have the counterpart of water, Forbidden Flood, and they are once per battle. Flood all tiles except one with allies. Doing damage and knockback away from this unit. Okay. 10 is massive damage. The knockback's a little weird. But your team is usually near you, so you're normally pushing the enemies away from your team, more defensive like. Flood, flood, flood. This is really good if you have any type of electric damage, because that's the good part about Forbidden Flood being 0, because you just flood all the tiles except with your allies, so they are not affected by the electric type, and then you just go to town because you saved your mana, and you didn't use your mana for this. So this is amazing. If you don't have any type of electric, I'm gonna give this a B+. Or even the most solid of Bs. But if you have any type of electric combo, I think this goes up to an A, maybe an A+. You would get kind of crazy. You would most likely win any battle, normal battle, and hard one. And on bosses, this is a little shittier, but you never know. Like Spinneret, because she spawns a lot of shit. And maybe if you're getting overwhelmed, the forbidden abilities can save your ass. We got Blizzard, damn big attack, Ice and Wind Element, 12 mana, but you're the mage, 6 damage, casting a 3-tile wild straight line. Inflict slow with a chance to freeze. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, Blizzard. I mean, even though you're the mage, 12 is getting a little spicy, a little spicy mana cost, but it shouldn't be a problem. It shouldn't. You're the fucking mage. Maybe you have shit charisma, maybe. Um, but Blizzard is pretty cool. The 3 tile wide is very flexible, not hard to use. If range, if there is an object in the straight line, does it block all of the elements behind it, or I believe you just affect all of the tiles in the tree wide straight line? Okay, pretty good ability. Pretty pretty good ability. The slow is nice. I think this is a B plus. Pretty good. Not taking every time. A little specific, a little costly, but it's fine. Chaos teleport, random teleport to any open time. I mean, you've seen from probably the reactions from some of the videos. I love Chaos teleport. Chaos teleport is kind of amazing. I mean, there is a world where you get fucked, but you're the mage. You have normally a lot of mana, so either you get super lucky and kind of get where you want to be, or good enough, or you just cast it a little bit more to get where you want to. I mean, if you cast this like 6 times, you basically to get where you want to. It's basically a normal teleport. I don't know. I really like Chaos Teleport. It just seems super good. It's cheap. It's flexible. I'm not saying there isn't a world where it completely fucks you. Like, I don't know. You end up in the face of the boss, or in a pit, or a tile that kills you. I don't fucking know. But I love Chaos Teleport. I think this is my first S. I'm not saying that it's an always take, technically, but I love Chaos Teleport. It's so good. I really like it as a movement ability. Ooh, Hyper Beam Q at 25 magic damage attack that hits a single tile in a 6 tile range. Okay. That hits on your next turn. Okay, so it has a big tile range. So you could plan a bit more. Hmm. I like Hyper Beam. I like Hyper Beam. I like the prediction aspect of it. This is pretty cool. Hyper Beam, another Pokemon reference. I love these. In Pokemon, you also have to take waste a turn charging the Hyper Beam. It's pretty cool, and it's very cheap. You do waste your turn. You have to get this right. Um, Maybe bosses are easier to predict. Maybe when you learn their behavior a little bit more. Unless they're like chubs and nubs, then it gets a little fucked. Then it gets a little tricky. But there are a lot of good combos. Either you know the patterns of the enemy very well. You could put like your fighter, cleric, or tank to bait an enemy because you know they're going to go to the nearest tile to hit that enemy, and then you prep the hyper beam in front of them, shit like that. Or maybe you know they're gonna pass a trap. There's a lot of good combos with your teammates if your party that you could do with hyper beam. I like hyper beam. I think this is an A. I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot. You do have to be very good at predicting this, or have a lot of ways to um, bait the enemies where you want them to. Oh, a little jolt. Electric element. Shoot a lightning bolt, dealing 1 damage. Knocking the unit, it hits forward 3 tiles in direction it's facing. Ah, okay. This is kind of interesting. How good is it really? It has this cute knockback. I wonder how much are you really using this. It is very cheap. Um, it is 1 damage. Maybe this is kind of a crazy ability to have on a hit me fighter, because you deal the 1 damage, proccing his hit me archetype. Um, or any class that has a hit me archetype. Uh, and it could double as a movement ability. Just get him in there. Pretty interesting. But I don't know. I'm really gonna have to. It is a bit situational. Hmm. If you have any type of way to scale your electric damage, if this was bumped to 2 damage, this gets a lot better for the cost of the mana. Hmm. Yeah, if this gets bumped a little bit of the damage, this all of these low abilities get a lot better if you can bump the damage, of course. But on its own, I'm gonna give it a solid B for its potential. It could be a little cheeky, you know. I like it. I can respect that. Um, but too bright? Maybe. Let's check. Let's do it a little lower. Um, okay, we got Wind Slash now. One magic damage, wind spell hits an entire straight line with knockback 1. I mean, I said it about Wind Slash. It's pretty cool. I think it's a cool ability. Um, the knockback 1 kind of compensates. You're doing a lot more damage, probably. The straight line is pretty good. I think this is a B plus. It's a fine spell. I think it's a fine spell. I think you could find a lot more uses than you would believe you actually could with Windslash. Really curious about what the upgraded version of Windslash would be. Inspire. This is a really cool ability. The first mainly support type ability. It give 2 mana, 3 mana, give 2 mana to a unit, and it's a big tile range. This is really cool. If you have any class or a single cat that has a lot of mana problems, you can just compensate for them and give them a little bit of mana to cast their big spells. This is a really cool one. I really like Inspire. I'm gonna give it. Does it get an S? I don't really know. I think it's an A plus. A plus. Really like Inspire. Really cool design. Warp 4 mana. Teleport to any open tile diagonal from you. We've seen Ed use this once. It was pretty good. And Warp Plus gets upgraded to 2 mana. Wow. It is a little bit awkward, the diagonal movement, but normally it's fine. Normally it's fine. You can get where you want to get. Yeah, like you either get in there and use your movement to compensate, and then get out of there with diagonal style. Who cares? You just want to get out of there. I think Warp's pretty good. I think it's an A. Fire Blast, 7 mana. Fire and explosive. Look at that. Conjure a fire that deals 3 magic damage and inflicts burn 2 in an AoE 4 tile range. Okay. Okay. Explosive element. What does explosive element really do? Does the explosive element give like the AoE part of the spell? Probably not, right? Although it makes sense. Maybe explosive element, you can break certain objects or enemies or defensive shit on them. I don't know, but pretty cool fireball. A little AoE. It is 3 damage. It's kind of like it costs as much as, it does as much damage and costs as much as Surf, but it's a worse AoE, but it inflicts burn 2. I like Fire Blast. I like it. 4 tile range. It's a little bit better than your basic attack. That's okay. That's great. I'm gonna give it a B plus. I don't really know what the element of explosive does yet, but I think it could be. It's always good to have more element possibilities. Normally, Cryo Heal. Ooh. This is not really expected, but I'm not surprised to see a nice healing archetype in the mage. This is pretty cool. It's pretty cool how the mage gets some healing abilities. Cryo heal. Heal unit 10 HP and freeze it. Okay, okay. It is 8 mana. I was thinking like maybe if there's an enemy unit that's full HP, you could just freeze it. Who cares? Because he's not healing. And as it's written, you heal first and then you freeze it. Edmund confirmed we were speculating, but now it is kind of confirmed that Holy Element, when you heal something with Holy Element, if it is undead, it deals that much damage. So you could be dealing 10 damage to an undead unit, and then freezing it, which is pretty nice because the freezing normally blocks the damage. But if you heal first, the order is good. 8 mana is a little bit much, a little bit, but it is 10. And if you have like a tank, although if they are frozen, they do get pushed as an ice cube. That could be pretty awkward, but I was thinking like, maybe you heal your tank, and I don't know if the enemies are gonna ignore him, because he's an ice cube. But if they don't, he's gonna tank the hits as an ice cube, and then but he's gonna get a little bit pushed around. But I think Cryo Heal is pretty interesting. I think you can't underestimate healing. Maybe this hits the spot in some parties. I'm gonna hold out a little bit of judgment on this one and say B plus. Bolt, 7 mana. Oh, this is the classic Bolt. 7 mana, 3 damage, has a 25% chance to stun. Bad range, 3 tile range. Edmund used this. It was pretty good on the sewers, of course, has a lot of water. The chance to stun was pretty clutch, as every electric element does. It kinda saved Edmund sometimes. I think it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Having the chance to stun bumps it a lot more, so B plus. Although I would give this a lower score. Mana Meld. Give all mana to an allied cat. Ooh. Ooh. We've never seen this one. Kind of a better Inspire. The counterpoint is that you actually give all your mana, because with Inspire you could leave a little bit for yourself for your own use. But in Mana Meld, you're all in. Maybe you have a summoning ranger or a fighter that just wants to go all out. Pretty cool. Pretty fucking cool. And you don't have to press this. You're not forced to, just when you need it. I think this is pretty great. I think this is an A+. It has its downsides, but I think the upsides make it as good as Inspire, basically. Magic Missile, do 3 damage at infinite range. It can miss. There are a lot of enemies that get some dodge, so Magic Missile is pretty cool. We will see when I react to the new Ed run. But not missing is pretty relevant. Infinite range is pretty cool also. If you have any type of scaling magic damage, this gets a lot more crazy. Damn, Guillotine music's so cool. It's such a fucking cool song. I like Magic Missile. I'm gonna give it B plus. I'll give it B plus because of the can't miss. That could be very clutch. Meteor Storm, here it is. With its gravity element, up to 12 meteors fall randomly in a 7 diameter AoE, dealing 10 damage to units and objects. They have a chance to stun and create fires. 10 mana, but it's also good. Maybe the best area of effect spell? Maybe? Meteor Storm is amazing. Wow. I don't think it's an S. If there's a big boss, he could be hit by multiple enemies, multiple meteors. It's kind of crazy. I'm gonna give it an A+. Absorb. Absorb is really fucking cool. Spend all your mana, heal your equal mana spent casting this. And they're making a guess that the upgraded version probably converts into shield, what you don't use. I love Absorb. It's such a cool ability. It's Holy Element. That's kind of crazy. That's so good. It's so clutch. Tyler had this. It's kinda amazing, I believe. What do I give Absorb? Bro, if you have a really frail mage, this gets a lot worse. Yes. Let me bump the lighting a bit. Um, huh. But I really like Absorb. I'm gonna give it. This is the recording of the. I'm gonna give it an S. No, an A plus. A plus or A. Just because if you have a really frail mage, this is fucking useless most of the time. Let's do the new song. Corrupt. Injure yourself to gain +5 magic damage this battle. Wow. Yeah, corrupt me, baby. Holy crap. This is kinda nice. I like it. I like corrupt. Ooh. +5 magic damage is no fucking joke. For an injure, and you don't even pass on injuries. You can just go off on the final boss or whatever. Damn. Maybe it's an A, but I'm gonna give it an S. This seems kinda crazy. Replicate 5 mana. The next spell you cast is cast twice. Classic replicate, everybody sees it, nobody gets it. But it's just normally because nothing against replicate. Replicate is great. It's just that
A few moments later.
hey, we're back. So a group of cats thunderbolted my home, and the power was out for a whole freaking day. But I'm back now, and we can go back to reviewing the mage. That's kind of fucking crazy, right? Yeah. That was nice. That was nice. Um, uh, I don't even know exactly where I stopped with replicate, but the gist of replicate is that it has the potential to be great, but sometimes it's awkward because it's either offered you as your first spell, and it's not really that great to have this doing nothing with no potential, because you might get a good spell, but you might not. You might get a shit one that doesn't do anything, and then you have two spells that don't combo off, and it's kind of sad. That's why, although we've seen replicate in some of its runs, we still haven't seen it used. And that's for a reason. It's not that I don't like it. I really think it's nice. The next spell cast twice. Very interesting. Um, not great with something like Surf, because you knock back all of the enemies away from your area. So in the second cast, you're maybe not hitting anything, right? So you do have to be a little aware of where you're doing this. But like, you could always replicate a meteor storm. Yeah, that's the best case, for sure. Um, I'm gonna give it a B. A, I mean, I'm gonna give it a B, solid B. But you know, if you have a good combo, of course, it's maybe an A plus. But it's just hard. It's hard, but it's complicated. Okay. And we got Wall of Fire, a mana fire. Of course, it's fire. Inflicts burn 1 and spawns fires in a perpendicular line. Pretty cool. Another D&D spell. Um, it's burn 1, but you're probably gonna burn the whole place down. That's a lot of tiles. That are probably gonna be burning. It's kind of easy to spread. Um, not doing damage, just a wall of fire, huh? I don't know. I mean, I want to like fire, but with burn 1, I mean, if you have some combos with burn, or maybe if you're kind of turtling and letting the enemies burn, but I don't know. It's just I have to see it happen sometimes to really be sold on that strategy, you know. And we haven't seen it much, so I'm gonna give this a B minus, unfortunately. But maybe hopefully I'm wrong. I want to see Wall of Fire dominating. Maybe there's some bosses that can't get out of the fire somehow, because it is a big area, and you can play around it. That would be nice. That would be pretty cool. Teleportation, just your basic, the baseline for teleport abilities, 6 mana, teleport training tile. Okay, okay. It's good. It is nice. It's I think this is an A minus. A minus doesn't appear a lot, but I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty. I mean, it's to be. You are the mage, but it is 6 mana just to teleport. It's a little bit too much. It's okay. It is an A. It is an A still. It's fine. Smolder 3 damage. Look at this. Inflict burn 1 and +1 speed to a unit in range. What the fuck? And it seems like the upgraded version makes it cheaper by 1. Making, of course, a unit in range. Is this your range? The mage's range? The shit range? Okay. So, do you wanna burn your allies to give them the speed? Or maybe you can use this to just give burn to an enemy, and who cares if he has speed? It is a cheap way to do fire. Although there was one spell that was similar in Colorless, the Toast one, if I'm remembering correctly, but it didn't. You couldn't target any unit, maybe, or and it did. And obviously, it didn't give speed. This is interesting. Burn does go away, but the speed is eternal. So it's kind of like you don't really care, probably about the burns. You can just like burn your tank a little. Maybe he even likes that. Maybe there is, if you have a hit me thing. I think you're mostly using this to buff, not to debuff other enemies. Maybe if you have as I said, maybe there's an enemy that doesn't move, that makes him a prime target for Smolder, because you don't care, just burn him the fuck out. Or maybe there's an enemy that already has a lot of speed and you'll make no difference. But I think you're mostly using this for to buff your own allies, and because you either don't care about the burn or you have a way some some type of water spell to hose them off. And plus on speed is just great. It's pretty nice. Interesting, very interesting. It's another utility support archetype for the mage, and I like that. I really like that. Deal with the devil. We've recently seen this. I mean, I haven't reacted to it yet, but I will. Deal with the devil is kind of amazing. Injure yourself, then restore 15 mana. Wow. Once per battle. In the upgraded version, it's just restore all your mana. This is crazy. You can just go the fuck off. Cast some big spells. It's a big turning point, and you kind of don't. Tipo, it's fine. If it's the last battle of the run, I mean, it's obvious. You don't care about injuring yourself. Who fucking cares? Injuries are not passed down, so you can just go the fuck off. But it's kind of like a forbidden ability, with a lesser penalty. And you can just have it as an emergency. If you need it, use it. If you don't, that's fine. You're in good shape then. Since there's a nice debuff, there's a snail. It probably inflicts slow. Maybe there's something else to it, but it's probably just a debuff. But I like the. It's a cheap ice. I didn't rate Deal the Devil. Deal the Devil is an S. I like the cold slow abilities. It could shut down completely an enemy, so it's easier for your allied cats to fuck him up. I like slow. I like the freezing slow archetype. Although we don't know anything kinda about this ability, I'm gonna give it a B+. Divide. Lose damage equal to half your basic attack's damage, rounded up. For the rest of the battle, you gain an extra basic attack. Okay. If your basic attack has a little something extra, maybe this is pretty nice. Like, you don't really care about the damage. Maybe you have splash damage, for example. That's one of the passives that Mage can have. And you'll, like, always do 2 damage to your adjacent tiles. So you kind of don't care about you losing damage, maybe. But it is pretty interesting. It's not an always take, because there are sometimes that it just doesn't do anything, or it's not worth it to have the extra attacks for the cost of lowering your attack. And there is a cap to it as well. Interesting. But yeah, if you're applying anything with your basic attacks, this could be a really good ability. You're probably gonna have a movement, and you can just teleport near the enemies or the boss and just go ham and get the fuck out. Because it's a setup. It's for the rest of the battle, right? Rest of the battle, yeah. It's just you set up and then you go the fuck off. This is pretty cool. I like it, although it's obviously not an always take. But I'm gonna give this a B+. Ooh, there's Mega Blast. It is the biggest of the blasts, but it is an area. It is a little bit dangerous. You have to get up a little close, and it's very costly. Ooh, upgraded version. It's a larger cone. That's pretty nice. The large cone is pretty nice. I'm gonna. We've seen in the recent Zack's and Edmund's run, it being used. It did some stuff, okay, but it is a little awkward because of the range, and of course it's not cheap. I think this is a solid B. Firebolt. Ooh, electric and fire. Oh. Cast a spell that deals 3 magic damage, inflicts burn 1, and can stun, of course, in an X shape. Ooh, AoE. Oh. Imagine you stunning all this guy, a lot of guys. Ooh. That's nice. Wow. Pretty cool. How do you like that? How do you like that? I think this is kind of a doesn't scale, right? Because it's magic damage only scales if you have passives or items that give you magic damage. 15% chance to stun is a little lower than other abilities. And you have to burn one. Burn one? Couldn't it be a burn two? It is an AoE. I'm gonna give it a B+. Gust. The gust of wind. Knock back each adjacent unit 3 tiles from a chosen tile. What the hell? Okay, I see. Huh. You just do the knockback, huh? Very, very support. It's a little bit support mage ability because you're like dislocating the enemies to um, make they lose an attack, knock them on something else. I like it. It's I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. It doesn't specify a range, so is it an infinite range? If it's infinite range, this is very good, very good. I like it. You can just stay away with your mage and just keep affecting the game board. You know, I like it. I think this could also be a B+. Pretty nice. Teach 5 mana. Another chosen unit's abilities cost 1 less mana on their next turns. Wow, what? All of the abilities. What the fuck? This could be insane. Wow, I'm with a fighter, a ranger. Oh my god. This could be crazy. You're kinda. I mean, it doesn't cap. There is no cap. You could make it go to 0 maybe. I wonder. I'm thinking about inspire. Would you rather inspire someone or teach? It is only for the next turn. They probably have 2 abilities. You're making it cost 1 less mana. It's kinda like inspiring. Kinda. So it's huh. But if inspire is good, teach could be also very nice. Maybe the upgraded version is a little goes into a different route. Maybe it's cheaper. Maybe it makes it make the abilities cheaper. But it's very interesting. Maybe the not having a cap is the benefit. I don't know. Making the ability cost less is a little easier. Maybe it could be very relevant. Like maybe the cat that you're helping doesn't have a lot of mana to begin with, and like max mana. So making their abilities cost less could be more impactful than inspiring and giving them mana because they already don't have a lot of mana. Something like that, you know? So I'm gonna give it a B+. I think I like Spire more. Twin Bolt. Yeah, does seem like a Twin Bolt, huh? I can't judge it a lot, but it seems pretty cool. Probably a chance to stun 2 enemies. That's pretty nice. Freezer Burn. We've seen Freezer Burn a lot, but never picked. Which is a shame. A very aggressive ability. Fire and Ice deals 2 damage, burn 2, slow 2, and knock back 2 that hits all units within 2 tiles from you. Kinda like your range. Slow 2 is pretty nice. The knockback is okay. This is an interesting ability. If you can get like behind the enemy lines, do a freezer burn, and get the fuck out. I want to like freezer burn, but I don't know. It seems it is hard to pick. I wonder what the upgraded version does. I'm gonna give it a B minus. Homing blast. Ooh. Shoot 3 magic missiles that each deal 3 magic damage at random enemies. Pretty cool if you have some sort of. And the upgraded version shoots 1 more magic missile. Okay. Um, pretty good. Pretty good. I like the magic missiles. Remember, they don't miss. Infinite range. I think it's pretty cool. Just dash out some damage across the board. You could kill some guys or soften them up for your fighter or someone else to get the kills, which is pretty relevant. A lot of the fighter and the ranger and the hunter, for example, they sometimes care a lot about getting those kills, you know. So you don't have to be the one killing them. If you can get any type of magic plus magic damage with the witch set and stuff like that, this gets a lot better. It is kind of crazy. It scales a lot. Pretty good, pretty fucking good. I like Homing Blast a lot. I'm gonna give it an A, more for the fun factor. I think it's pretty cool, and they don't miss. I think vibes wise, it's an A. Otherwise, I don't know. Icicle Zapper, A mana, electric and ice. Shoot a bolt in a straight line. Okay, inflicts low 2 and chance to stun, a bigger chance to stun, and also a chance to freeze. Okay, can they be frozen and stunned? That's kind of irrelevant, right? But it's fun. You can either stun or freeze, maybe both, but that's relevant. You're hoping for their stun mostly. And upgraded, it shoots 2 bolts. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Straight line, huh? Straight line, I think it's pretty. It's good. It's good because your range as the mage gets a little shit. I think I like Icicle Zapper. I'm gonna give it a and A minus. Telefrag, what the fuck? Teleport onto a unit, dealing 5 damage to yourself in that unit. What the fuck? Okay. You know, when we were talking about an aggressive mage that wants to get in there, yeah, that's the one. This is the one. 5 damage to yourself is pretty rough. What the fuck? I don't. You're a mage. Can you think that much? Dealing 5 damage to the unit is pretty nice with the teleport. You could be killing some guys. Maybe if you have careful on this mage, the passive, colorless passive, you could be TPing in your teammates for free. Maybe, probably. If you somehow have thorns, you'll be dealing more damage. It's pretty funny. I don't know. 5 damage to yourself is the toughest part. Damn. Either you have some holy shields or getting out is a struggle also. I don't know. Maybe this is good, but maybe there's some counterplay. I'm gonna give it a B minus. It's a tough teleport. It could be great, but I don't know. I can't see it yet. Just because maybe you have a kind of tanky mage that can take some of these. If you can, okay, great, good for you. But I don't know. It's a cool design, but you know. Black magic, once per turn, drop to 1 HP. What the hell? Gain mana equal to HP lost? What the fuck? This is insane. This is an instant. You remember those passives from the colorless? that want you to get to 1 HP, this is just a insta combo with those. This is insane. You can like you know when the combat's about to end, you can kinda wait to use this, and this was for turn. I mean, but yeah, it's a specific combo if you can get this. I'm not judging based on that. It's just I think it's fun that there's an ability that makes it so much easier to proc those. Um, you gain mana equal to the HP lost. Okay, I like this. I like this. Uh, it is kinda Duel of the Devil ish. It is black magic after all. Um, but you know, yeah, if you have some type of maybe you can heal somehow. If you have like some snacks to eat during battle, this could be good. You could be using this more than once, and of course you're casting a lot of fucking spells with this. Maybe shooting a bunch of missiles, doing some fireballs. That makes a lot of difference. It could really swing the battle in your favor, you know. But of course you have to be careful. You're gonna be in the back lines. You want to be in the back lines afterwards. You're not doing a lot after this. Um, it's risky, but it's pretty fucking great. I think this is an A. Whirlpool. 7 mana water. Create a whirlpool, 5 the enemy AoE that spins units 1 tile clockwise and inflicts confusion on them. Wow. 4 tile range, a little bit better than your own range. Leaves water cone tiles. Okay. It all becomes water. Confusion. Confusion, I believe, like Pokemon, you have like a chance to hit yourself instead of doing the thing that you want to do. It's purple is interesting. The confusion could be very nice. Could be very nice. Could not do any. It could not proc a single time. The water element could be great. Maybe you could use it to. You don't want to apply confusion on your guys. So yeah, no, you're not using this to move some of your guys. Unless they have a resistance to confusion somehow. Or want to hit themselves, maybe to proc something, I don't know. That would be pretty funny, using confusion to your favor somehow. But yeah, I think I'll give this a B minus. Could be fun, could be interesting. I like it. Try attack. Wow, all of the elements. This is fun. Electric, fire, and ice. 3 damage, and the classics. Burn 1, slow 1, and the chance to stun. A little bit lower, 15%. Yeah, I mean it's fun. The burn one is, as always, a little irrelevant. I like the slow. I like the chance to stun. But maybe you can make the burn relevant somehow. But even if you don't, there is the slow. There is a chance to stun. It could be great. In a boss or some shit like that, you know. What's the? We don't know the range. I'm gonna guess it's the Mage's range, which is a little shittier. If it had a bigger range, this would be a little higher. But I'm gonna give it a solid. I mean, I think Bolt has a higher chance to stun, right? I think it's a solid B. Because there's no way it's just a better Bolt. There's no way. Lightning Surge, 5 mana, electric. Ooh. Increase the spell's range and damage by 2 every turn and stun chance by 10%. Wow! 2 tile range, oh my god. But it increases range also. Okay, oh. A defensive Dirtle ability, scaling ability. It seems very strong. I like the Dirtle. Keep your mage alive and you'll survive. 5 mana is great. Increasing the damage and the stun chance. Okay. I see you. It starts off very shit, very shitty. Shoot tire range, yeah, that's rough. But maybe you can teleport. Who knows? Um, I'll give it an A. I think scaling is nice. Forbidden Freeze. Oh, that'd be kind of amazing. And another fire that we don't know. Ice Surge. We've seen in Zex and Edmund's um, gameplay, but they didn't use it. They didn't get it. Ice Surge. Ice. Increase its range and slow every turn. At 2 turns, it gains Immobilize 1. At 3 turns, it gains Freeze 1. Okay. Kinda like a little the same. Interesting. Interesting. Turns Immobilize. I like it. I like it. You kind of maybe after you're freezing on command, its range is also increased every turn. Okay. I think this is maybe a little worse. Maybe. Am I crazy? I'm gonna give it an A minus. Or B plus. Inferno. Deal fire damage and inflict burn 3 to all units in a large tile circle around you. Around me. Ugh. There's another. If it's really around you, another getting there and get the fuck out ability. I like it. I like it. One of the cooler flame abilities. 6 damage. Okay. Okay. In burn 3. Very dangerous, but cool. I like it. I'm gonna give it a solid B. Let's go to our beautiful passives. Do we have some images? Do we have some images here? Hopefully loads sometime. Hopefully loads. Is it loading these ones? Nope, nothing is loading. Let's try and funny. Tutor! Teach the last ability this cat casts each turn to the rest of your cats. This is amazing. And Tutor Plus, teach the upgraded version of the abilities. Wow. Wow, this is very interesting. Could be useless because you have a lot of big spells, you know, and you're the mage. You're the one that's easy. That's the easiest to cast them. But this is pretty fun. Oh, there. This could be very interesting. Just having the flexibility on your other cats with that other ability could be huge. It could be very huge because like your tank and your fighter, they getting there. They want you getting there. So the mage who has a lot harder time doing that sometimes, this could open up a lot of possibilities. I really like what this ability gives to you. It may be sometimes it might not be that strong, might not be that relevant, but I like it. I'll give it an A minus. More like on the fun factor than of it being broken. It's kind of like it's fun. It's pretty fun. 3. Every third spell you cast in a turn is cast twice. Yeah, okay. This is a little. Every third spell, okay. So no huge motherfucker spells. Okay. You have to cast some mediums or small ones. Interesting. Pretty cool. This passive gives you a very interesting path for you to go on when making your cat. You know, I like 3. I'll give it a B plus because maybe an A if you can really make this. You could be make this very crazy because you can like have some very cheap spells, like if you have do nothing of the colorless ability, or you have the Spire, who cares, and then you Meteor Shower as a third spell, something like that. That would be pretty good. Um, and I wonder what the upgraded version does. Maybe you cast it twice. That would make sense, right? Uh, yeah, I'll give it a B plus. Elemental Attunement. Casting elemental spells powers up your basic attack with those elements and their effects for the rest of the battle. Ooh, this is pretty cool. So if you have all of the elements, your basic attack, if you have abilities for all the elements, like if you have the Tri attack, for example, that had all of the elements, your basic attack would instantly get slow, stun, and burn. So that's pretty cool, making you try and spread out your elemental synergies. You know, I like it. Is it strong? Of course, as always, the slow and the stun I think are a lot more relevant than the burn, but it's cool nonetheless. If you only have one element, this gets a little shittier. If you only have burn, this is a lot shittier. I'll give it a solid B. Lightning aspect, electric immunity. I believe this means you. Does this mean you don't get stunned at all? Because there are some attacks that stun your cats, but they are not lightning element. Like, for example, when it's raining on the Radical Rat, instead of throwing the bombs to explode because it's raining, they always turn off, so he throws the bombs on your head just to do damage. And they have a chance to stun also. So I wonder if Lightning Aspect makes it so you are immune to stuns like that. When you do electric damage, you can plus 1 charge. I still don't know what charge does. Maybe charge is your electric damage. When you do electric damage, you're gonna do more damage, you know, because you're getting charged, so your electric damage is going up. I wonder if the charge goes away after you use it once. It's kind of like a temporary magic damage buff for your electric attacks. They're pretty fun. Hopefully it scales forever and charge just stays. That would be pretty kind of OP. Let me skip this one. It's hardly a song. Let me hear this. I like this one a lot. Um, let's see. I think I like Lightning Aspect. Even though I'm kind of guessing what charge does. Let's do a solid B. It's not always that you're doing an electric type build, although it's easier on the mage. But you know, two. At the end of your turn, if you cast exactly 2 abilities, gain plus 1 bonus attack. Ooh. At the end of the turn, if you have exactly 2 mana, gain plus 1 bonus attack. Wow. Okay. Exactly 2 mana is kind of crazy, but casting 2 abilities is pretty cool. Having bonus basic attacks. A basic attack passive for the mage, so you want to be proccing doing something with your basic attack. Maybe it has an elemental aspect to it or something else. I don't know. If it's just your basic attack with nothing else added, a little tasteless. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. Because the bonus attack doesn't go away. It seems it doesn't go away. It's cool. I'll give it a solid B. Ice aspect. You are ice element and ice immune. So you can't be frozen and you are ice element. So when you go, if you pass through water tiles, you're gonna freeze them. You're probably freezing grass, making it so it spikes. it could be interesting. Enables damage to frozen targets. Enemies that attack you take 1 ice damage against load. That's pretty cool. Enables damage to frozen targets from you, only from you. Probably, right? Probably. Pretty cool being able to damage frozen targets. That's pretty huge. On bosses. Oh my god. I like Ice Aspect. That's a cool passive. I'll give it Ice Immune, not really relevant. How much you're damaging those frozen targets? Are you doing that much damage? I don't know, I'm gonna give this a... I'm gonna give it a solid B. I'm not saying it's not good, but I don't know, you kinda... You need a bit of stuff to make this work. Lightning Pulse, your basic attack does +1 electric damage. Okay, pretty cool. And have a chance to stun. This could be very good. This could be very good. Your attacks doing electric damage could be very relevant. And the chance to stun is pretty great. I'm gonna give it an A-. A-. I think this is more relevant than the others. Synthesize. Gain +1 intelligence at the start of each turn. Okay, another Dirtle thingy. Synthesize could be very strong. It allows you to probably maybe cast some spells every turn after you wait some time, and that could just make your engine go wild. Although gaining intelligence doesn't mean you have the charisma to support it, so you have max mana, you know. So maybe there's a good cap on this, but you know, you're not gonna lack charisma, probably, hopefully. I think it's nice. Scaling is always good. Maybe it's not a lower. I'm gonna give it an A-. You need to scale this, and maybe it's not that relevant. Sometimes. Maybe it is maybe it is. But you know, it's still an A. Splash damage. Your basic attack deals 2 magic splash damage to the adjacent tiles. If you have anything applying in your basic attacks, this could be great. Having that little bit of AoE makes the mage a lot more relevant. Just in general. Could make it a little bit awkward. You might be attacking some of your cats, but maybe you want that if you have some type of hit me archetype, as always I kinda say this, but you're only dealing 2 damage, so maybe you want that. Maybe you don't care that they're taking 2 damage, because that's just a little. I like splash damage. I'm gonna give it an B+. Resonance. I mean, there's a spell here with some batteries. I don't know what that is. Maybe you can store mana somehow. I don't know. Resonance. When you cast a spell, gain +1 magic damage for the rest of your turn. Very good with some little spells. Okay. Okay, I see you. Oh my god, if you have nothing, that's so crazy OP. Chaos Teleport goes insane with this. Oh my god. If you have some sort of small spell to burn some resonance on someone, to burn some resonances on, oh my god, this is insane. If you're just using your abilities and you're getting like a little bit of damage, that's not bad. But the potential is really here. I think this is an A. Burning Pause. Your basic attacks inflicts burn 1. Could be relevant. Could just be kinda ass also. You're gonna be burning the whole arena with this. The element is nice. I'm gonna give it a solid B, okay? Maybe burning some grasses is nice. Force Field. Oh, defensive ability for the mage. There it is. There are some things that you could use for like the that teleport that damages you for some shit. Although this is a little difficult. +1 Holy Shield. At the start of every third turn, you gain a Holy Shield. So you can kind of time this. So you kind of are using your whole. Thinking about it, you don't lose Holy Shields, right? So you can stack them. That's pretty good. That's pretty good defensive ability. B plus. Oh, there's a 5. Ooh. Paw Missile. Your basic attack's magic missile. Base 3 scaling with int. Ooh, it's explosive intelligence. This is pretty cool. I think this is an A+. Infinite range. It's a scaling basic attack, which normally doesn't happen for the mage. I really like the magic missile. Paw Missile. I really like this one. Overload. When you cast a spell, you run random elemental damage to each adjacent tile. To your? Adjacent to you? Or to where you cast the spell? I think it's where you cast the spell. Hopefully. Because if it's around you, it's very harder. Okay. One random elemental damage. So it could stun, it could freeze, slow, could burn. Or maybe random elemental. Maybe there's other elements that you're considering in this. I don't think so. Maybe. Interesting. I don't really know. Maybe this is crazy. Maybe this is whatever. I'm gonna believe it's kinda good. Maybe. I'm gonna give it a B+. Fire Aspect. You are a fire element. So we saw this on Zack and Ed's run. So you are fire element. If you pass through things, you're burning them. You're fire immune, pretty good. Inflict burn 1 to units that contact you. Your fire element damage increased by 1 and inflicts +1 burn. Okay. 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 Makes your fire spells a little bit better. I don't know if this doesn't mean the burn does more damage. If it's +1 burn. Okay. Okay. Dealing kinda like 3 damage each burn. For some turns. Okay. I like Fire Aspect a lot more than the other fire thingies. It makes it it kind of changes your mage a lot. He could kind of. You have to be careful. You're really putting everything on fire. This is like it could get a bit crazy. But I like it. Could be very relevant. I'm gonna give it a B+. Yeah. Yeah. Ice Paws. Your basic attacks do ice damage. Inflicts slow 1 and has a 15% chance to inflict freeze. Ooh. Ooh. I like Ice Paws. I like the slow. If you freeze, okay, the enemy is kind of done for a turn, which is pretty nice. The freeze could be awkward, but you know. I mean, I'm gonna give this kind of I'll give it a B+. Who cares? Pretty good. Pretty good. Long cast. Tile target spells gain +3 range. Ooh. Okay, there's a lot of spells that get a lot better with the plus range. Damn, I like this one. I think this is an A. Long cast is pretty good. 4. When you end your turn, if you have exactly 4 mana, gain +1 int and +1 magic damage. Wow. Oof, this is amazing. You have to get to 4 mana though. Damn. Damn, and this is so hard to. If you don't have a 1 mana spell, because this ups your intelligence, it just makes it awkward. Even if your abilities are specifically chosen to proc this one time, the +1 intelligence fucks it a little bit. Damn. Interesting. 4 is pretty crazy. Oh, and we see here the intelligence and the magic one. In 5, we had 5 here. It is a shield and I don't know what the other symbol is. So something about 5, you do 5 things, I don't know, and you get probably some shield also. But on 4, um, this scaling is pretty insane. If you have good mana um, mana prices, you could always be proccing this, and that would be insane. Um, maybe some other cats can help you with that. Maybe some items. Maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna give it an A. Shrapnel? We don't know. Top off, plus 5 starting mana, plus 5 mana regen, lose all unspent mana at the end of your turn. So you just get a really big boost, but you can't save mana anymore. Okay, okay. I think this is cool. It enables a lot of builds. I like top off. I like top off. I mean, you're gonna have to watch your build to know if top off is really made for you, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm gonna give it an A. It's pretty nice. Look at these fireworks. How beautiful. Latent energy. When an ally spends mana, gain +2 magic damage until the next time you use magic. Wow. This is pretty good. You really want your mage to be one of the last casts to do their turn. So it gets a little bad depending on your party, because the mage is not that slow. I mean, Tyler was able to use this to its greatest potential because he had a thief with a very cheap mana ability, which is kind of like the best case scenario because the thief is always going first, and he could use that ability a lot. But if you're the first cat, I mean, you want to either be the first cat or the last one to get the most use of this, because you could pass it on to the next turn, which is okay. But you're normally wanting to go last because then you can do this on the first turn. Anyway, this is pretty amazing. I think this is an A+. Flinch. 25% chance to teleport out of the way of incoming damage. Ooh! This may not be a mage ability or could no longer exist. Aw, but this is pretty cool. This is a cool ability. I'm not gonna rate it because we have to see it, but it's pretty nice. Pretty cool passive defensive ability. But yeah, as always, this could never proc, and you'd be very sad. 1. When you end your turn, if you cast exactly one spell, double cast your next spell. Does this double cast makes it so it's impossible to proc one every time because you're double casting? Yeah, probably, right? So you can only do this every other turn if you have like a very big spell, but this limits you a lot. Damn. If you have some very big spells, this is very relevant because you can use one spell for whatever and just save your mana, and then you can cast your very big spell twice and you go from there. And that could be sometimes you casting that one big spell twice could be all you want for the battle, and that's fine. So you don't need to be proccing this every time. I'm gonna give this the benefit of the doubt. I think this is very good. I think this is an A. Maybe an A minus. Yeah, you have to. You kind of have to make this work, right? Of course, but you know, it's pretty fun. Magic Guru. Other allies have +1 mana regen. Okay. When another ally spends 7+ mana to cast a spell, they gain +1 stats up. Alright. Amazing. So your allies as a supporting utility passive for the mage to help your allies, give them more mana, and if they're casting big spells, they just get better and better because they are gaining charisma, they are gaining intelligence. This is very nice. So it just makes it easier for them to cast those big spells. I saw Edmund have these, I think 2 times maybe. But yeah, he always had like some cleric with the I forgot the name of the ability. But they are you normally tend to have a at least one big spell normally. I think it's very rare for you to not have any cat that's making use of Magic Guru. And the +1 mana regen, even if a cat's not spending 7+ mana to cast a spell, the +1 mana regen could be very relevant, you know. I like Magic Guru. I'm gonna give it a B plus. I might be underestimating this ability, the scaling possibilities for this, but you know, you're getting Constitution, but you're not getting healed for the Constitution, so it comes as empty HP. But you know, it is scaling. It is a scaling. Maybe you could own some bosses with some certain type of build. And I think that's it for the mage. Oh my god, this was pretty cool. This is pretty fun. Of course, the mage has so much stuff. The mage is the guy. He's your smart brains. Um he's the big spells. He's the big spells guy. And I really like the supporting archetypes. I like that he's has a very varied playstyle for you to choose from. So the mage was pretty fun. It's pretty fun. I can't wait to play with the elements and see if my opinion on burn changes, or maybe my opinion on slow and electric goes a little bit down. We'll see. We'll see. It's probably very balanced, but you know, it'll be fun. Thank you for staying with me. Next time we'll be seeing the tank, the burly tank. Yeah. Thank you so much, and goodbye.